So if the election doesn't go the way you want it to, feel free to flee the country and head to Canada. One real estate agent is looking to capitalize on the chatter of Americans who claim that they are heading north if their candidate loses. Jeff Cook is a real estate agent from South Carolina, and he joins me now. This is genius marketing. You're not really getting calls from people that say they're going to leave the country, are you?
You know, we are. We're getting a few calls. People are really trying to decide what they're wanting to do if their candidate doesn't get in. So we do have a long list of people that are looking to try to get ready to go to Canada if they don't get their election the way they want it.
Do you ever ask them, why would you go to Canada? It's freezing cold. I mean, you could go to the Bahamas. You could go to the Caribbean. There are a million other places. If I were going to flee the country because I didn't like the politics, it wouldn't be Canada. Do you ask them that, or do they just love the snow?
Yeah, you know, it's funny. We actually had a call the other day from Mexico, and they were wondering, why don't you send anybody down here? It's a lot warmer down this way.
Right. Yeah, well, I mean, they'd have to renounce their citizenship because they don't let Americans buy property in Mexico. Could be one reason. But how many calls would you say that you've gotten, and not just people who want to move, but obviously they see this and they think it's funny. How much business do you think you've drummed up for yourself with this billboard?
We get 20 to 30 calls a day. The phone number is just off the hook. We have to have separate receptionists just to help to answer the phone calls coming in. And people are really calling from all over the country to talk about real estate, but also just to talk about politics and their candidate and who they want to get into office and the reason why. So it's really been quite the outpour. Our website hits have literally went up 4 or 5 times. So we've had a lot of response through this.
So you're in Charleston, South Carolina. How would you say it's going? I mean, are more people threatening to leave because they don't want to see Donald Trump as president, or because they don't want to see Hillary Clinton as president?
Well, you know, the Charleston area is beautiful, you know, and we hope nobody leaves, but if they want to leave, we're certainly going to help them sell their house. And we've got back at the office a long list on both sides of the aisle, pro-Trump and pro-Hillary, and depending on how the election turns out, then the next day we'll be calling the opposite candidate to see if they're really serious about wanting to sell their house.
But you're like your own unofficial poll. Which way is it going? Who's winning?
You know, it's actually tied. We're very close to even keel. It's 50-50. Yeah, it's right on the money.
I think you're a good politician yourself, and you're trying to keep clients of both sides happy, and I appreciate that. My mother-in-law is a real estate broker, and she always said, you never talk politics or religion at the dinner table or when you're doing business. Those are just not good topics. So I bet you just nod and go along with them. This is very smart. I know there's another real estate company in Wisconsin that is doing something similar. There are other people out there. How did you come up with the idea?
Well, a couple of our friends across the country got together and we decided to, you know, tackle the billboard project. And we just wanted to come up with something that was, you know, sort of from a bipartisan view to really look at how we could bring some humor and, you know, to try to get rid of the divisive nature of this election. And what we found out during this time is it's really more about trying to keep the other candidate out of office versus getting your candidate in office. So we came up with the product that you see there.
That's great, and I appreciate very much that you're trying to lighten the mood. You're not the only one. You know, there are airlines that take advantage of whatever national scandal is going on to advertise based on it because you get, you know, you just get a lot of chatter. Would you say how many more calls does a billboard like this get for you than one that just said, hey, I'm Jeff Cook, I want to sell your house, and how much do you think you're able to convert those into real customers?
You know, it's at least 3 or 4 times the normal response. And at this point, a lot of people are really just trying to figure out what it would look like, you know, what their property's worth if they were to move. And then whenever the election cycle comes around, they're talking that they're definitely going to pull the trigger. There
you go. And it's about getting to know your customer and having them get familiar with your phone number and call you when they do want to sell their house for whatever reason. My hat is off to you, Jeff Cook. Right. Good job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.